Right, so in this video series, we're going to be looking at probability. Most of the concepts here is just stuff maybe you've learned in GCSE, so just go through it very quickly and just pick out some key points that you guys might have forgotten. Right, so first things first, Venn diagrams, right? We know what Venn diagrams are. They're used to show events graphically, and inside the circles, normally there's probability, but you can also put frequency inside. Right, a couple of terms. If we say PA, probability of A, it just means what's the probability of A, so it will represent this part of this Venn diagram here, like so. Now, probability of A dash just means probability of not A, okay? So that would represent every part which does not include A. So even outside here, even this part here, this whole region would represent probability of not A. Next one, probability of A and B. Sometimes you might read it also, they might say as A intersection B. It just means this middle part here. And lastly, probability of A union B, it just means probability of A and or B, right? So it represents inside both the circles here. This is a brief recap of what each one are. Let's try a question. So we have the probability that a child in a school has blue eyes is 0.27 and that they have blonde hair is 0.35. Right, so let's just write it out quickly. So let's say A is blue eyes and we'll call B as blonde hair. Okay, and so they've said that probability of A is 0.27 and the probability of B is going to be 0.35. The probability of the child will have blonde or blue eyes or both is 0.45. So if it's blonde or blue or both, it just represents probability of A union B, right? And so that's going to be equal to 0.45. And so let's go about, before we answer the question, let's go draw a Venn diagram. It's always good practice to draw a Venn diagram always, because then you can just visualize it a bit more easily. So we have A here, we'll have B here. Right, so A and or B is 0.45, so outside it's going to be 0.55 like this. And so to work out the inside, then we can use the addition formula, right? So hopefully you guys remember that probability of A and B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A union B. So this is going to be 0.27 plus 0.35 minus 0.45, which is 0.17 like this. So this value here is going to be 0.17 like here. Meaning we could fill out the rest of the Venn diagram. So this is 0.27, so this could be 0.1 like this, and this has to be 0.18 like so. Now we've got these values. Let's go about answering the question. So in part A, they're asking us probability of blonde hair and blue eyes. So they're asking us A and B, which is the middle part we just found as 0.17. Probability of blonde hair but not blue eyes, so probability of B and not A, like this. Okay, so that means it's just going to be this value here only, which is 0.18, and probability of neither features, so not A and not B, so it's going to be the outside section here, which is going to be 0.55, like so. Right, let's try another one. So we have a group of 275 people at a music festival, and they were asked to play the guitar, piano, drums, and we got the number playing each individual one and the combination. Draw a Venn diagram. So we got piano, guitar, and drums. So we need to draw 3 circles like this. 1, 2, and 3. Let's draw a box outside it. So let's go piano, guitar, and drums. Right, so when we're drawing Venn diagrams, you always want to work from inside to outwards, okay? So that means we want to work out the middle section here, this section here first. So that section here represents the person who plays all 3 of these instruments. And it says that one person plays all 3, so that's going to be 1 here. Right, now we work our way outwards. So let's look at this section here, right? So this is probability of P and G. So who plays the piano and the guitar? Well, we can say that piano and guitar is going to be here. 65 people play piano and guitar. But remember, there's one person inside there already, right? So it's going to be 64 here, because in total it's going to be 65. Guitar and drums, so there's going to be 30 people play guitar and drums, so that's going to be 29 here. And finally, 10 people play piano and drums, so that's going to be 9 people here. Now for piano, 15 play piano only, so it's going to be 15 here. 20 people play guitar only, so 20 here, and 35 will go into here. And remember that we have to make sure we write the number of people who play nothing, right? So outside, so that's going to be 102 outside. Right, in B, it says a festival goer is chosen at random from the group. Find the probability that the person chosen it plays the piano. So probability that it plays the piano, okay? And so that's just going to be the sum of everything inside this circle here. So it's going to be 15 plus 64 plus 1 plus 9 over the total number of people, 275. Like this. Right. Part 2, it says find the probability that at least 2 of the guitars, piano, and drums. So at least 2 represent basically this section here, right? Because it's going to represent all these people here will represent 2 or more. That's going to be 64 plus 1 plus 9 plus 29 over 275. Plays exactly one of the instruments. So exactly one will represent this value here, this one here, and this one here. So that's going to be 15 plus 20 plus 35 over 275. And finally, part 4 represents none of the instruments. That's the value we got outside, right? People who don't play any. So it's going to be 102 over 275. So as long as you work your way from inside to outwards and make sure you choose the exact values or the values they want you to find, then Venn diagram should be relatively easy, but it's not much different to what we learned in GCSE.